Hey fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Book. This is the Indian accent guy back to keep you up to date with the new fight announcements. And today we have a total of 6 new UFC fight announcements and 5 other fight announcements that are also big ones. I'm making this video because I had promised you that as soon as Charles Oliveira's opponent is confirmed, I will let you know. And that opponent is confirmed. Yes, Charles Oliveira finally accepted the fight against Mateusz Gamrot. In last video, I told you that Mateusz Gamrot wants to fight Charles Oliveira and he openly called him out, but Charles Oliveira and his team initially declined the fight, stating the reason that Charles Oliveira's whole camp was for a striker and now he can't accept a fight against a grappler. But after getting backlash from fans, Team Oliveira decided to take this fight because that was now the matter of respect. Charles Oliveira would have lost all the respect from his fans if he had not accepted this fight, because before Gamrot's call out, Charles Oliveira was shitting on every UFC ranked lightweight for not accepting a fight against him. And when Gamrot accepted a fight, he tried to decline, but UFC fans got it. That's why I tell you, UFC fans are the best. They can literally do anything. Anyway, Mateusz Gamrot was hyped after finding out that he will be fighting Oliveira at UFC Rio, and the opponent Oliveira was supposed to fight Rafael Fiziev. He says that he got a knee injury that forced him to pull out. The injury is on the same knee he had 2 surgeries on already, so that's why he decided to pull out, and he says now he needs a couple of months to heal up. Anyway, with this good news that Charles Oliveira's opponent is found, we have another pullout from the UFC Rio main card, and it is Santiago Ponzinibbio who pulled out against Vicente Luque for the reason currently unknown. But the good news is that the opponent who is supposed to fill this spot is none other than Joel Alvarez, who will be making his welterweight debut. He is 7-1 in his last 8 UFC fights, and after losing that one fight from Arman Tsarukyan, he is currently riding a 3-fight finish streak. If this fight gets made successfully, this card will definitely be a lot better than the original card. Anyway, there is one more fight that is in works to be added on UFC Rio preliminary card, and it is a bantamweight bout between 2 Brazilians. Luan Lacerdo, who is 0-2 in the UFC, is supposed to take on Simon Oliveira, who is 0-3 in the UFC. Someone has got to go. Next fight is a middleweight bout that is added on UFC Vegas 111 November 8th card, where Marco Tulio, who is currently 2-0 in the UFC, currently riding an overall win streak of 10 fights and 4 knockouts win streak, and he will be taking on none other than Christian Leroy Duncan, who is 4-1 in his last 5 UFC fights, currently riding a 2-fight win streak and coming off a round 1 knockout with spinning elbow over Eric Anders. Then the next fight is a heavyweight bout between 2 debutants, and this is added on UFC Doha Qatar card on November 22nd. 6-0 heavyweight with all finishes, Marek Bojilo will be taking on Jose Luis, who is 6-1 in his professional career, currently riding a 3 fights round 1 submission streak. The second fight that is currently in works for this card is a middleweight bout where Ismail Naurdiev, whose 2-fight win streak was broken with a unanimous decision loss to Jun Park, will be back in action against Ryan Loder, who is top 32 winner, currently coming off a loss to Azamat Bekoev. And these are all the fights that are announced in the UFC. We also have something from this weekend's UFC Perth card, as the UFC are hosting a pre-fight press conference for UFC Perth this week. They really couldn't have done this for Buckley Usman or Imavov Ohio card or any decent fight night card, and they are doing it for this Ulberg versus Race card, where there is no other big fight except the main event. Moreover, Robert Whittaker will get a shot on the analyst desk this week in Australia. Anyway, outside of the UFC, there are 3 big fights announced, 2 from the PFL, and third one is Muhammad Makhachev fight. PFL announced that they are heading to Lyon, France on December 13th, and this card will be headlined with the vacant PFL Heavyweight Championship bout, where former Bellator Light Heavyweight Champion Vadim Nemkov will be taking on Renan. Nemkov is currently 2-0 in the heavyweight division of the PFL, while Renan Ferreira is currently coming off a loss to Francis Ngannou. In the co-headliner of the card, Chris Cyborg will defend her PFL Women's Featherweight Championship belt against 6-0 Australian Sarah Collins. Then last but not least, Muhammad Makhachev announced that he will be headlining Brave 100 card in Bahrain on November 7th in a 5-rounder. After getting released from the UFC, this is going to be his 4th post-UFC fight. His opponent is currently unknown, but as soon as it will be announced, I will let you know. So you know what you're supposed to do. Just subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then do whatever you want.